now it's time. You get the last screen, and the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, tits up, and away we go. Bump, 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 bump. Let me find the picture. Let me find the screen. There it is. Boing. And how's that? Yeah, it's not bad. How is everybody tonight? As the lights are green, the trap is clean. Looks like we're all present and accounted for. Thank you very much for showing up. It is a little bit after 6 o'clock Los Angeles time. We're broadcasting the Gen X Talks live stream from the KGXT studios, 200 feet below occupied California. No. This isn't a pre-recorded message. We don't get to edit it. We don't have a green screen. We don't have a teleprompter with words in front of us. No. If we fuck things up, it's live and everybody caught it. It's all on us. That's just the way we roll. We are Generation X. Gen X Talks, yeah, and so are you. Legion of extras from Gen X. And get the analogies. Extras, Generation X is not a big leap. Glad you're coming along with me on that one. All right. So we formed a Legion of X. We are the bottom of the glass nation. And tonight, see, what I wanted to do was drink with you guys. See, I had right here, I had my driving whiskey. Yeah, I took it right out of the back seat of my truck. And just took but I can't. And there's a reason I can't. So tonight we're having refrigerated Hawaiian water, which there's nothing better. Every year, if you don't know this, every year the United States submits, all the counties and all the states submit natural water, unprocessed, not filtered, right out of the ground. Who's got the best water? Now, we all know Nevada loses. Well, Southern Nevada loses. You tasted Lake Mead water. It's terrible. However, Hawaii always comes in number 1. You know who always comes in number 2? Bend, Oregon. We can get more into that later. But I'm drinking refrigerated Hawaiian water, so I'll take a sip right now. Mm-mm. And so we'll get into more on what, who, what, where, why, and wow, when. Gen X Mom is with us. Say hello, dear. Everybody wants to know that you're present and accounted for.
Hello, everyone.
Do you have anything between the sheets before I head off down the road?
Tomash is in.
Tomash. Now, when Tomash comes in here, ladies and gentlemen, if you look in the comment section on Facebook, on Rumble, on YouTube, wherever he may be, you look at that and you see Tomash's name going there, you need to at least say hello. You need to put up the Israeli flag. Why? He absolutely guards that eastern border for us, for the Generation X, for the bottom of the glass nation, that part of our nation. He picks up a weapon and stands a post. He's a brother from another mother. We went to different high schools together. Just look at the yearbook, separate pages, but the same guy. Yeah, how can I help you?
Tomash says a member for 27 months.
Tomash has been around the planet, and he's been around Gen X Talks quite a long time.
Yep, forever and ever, bottom of the glass nation. My dear General, the best of the best, he says.
Thank you, Tomash. We're solid brothers on that. I love that guy.
Mary over on Facebook, I love being an extra, she said. She's a 1-month subscriber.
Far out. You can subscribe on Facebook. You have to go to a page called The General's Lunchbox. It's $1, but if you go there, 3 years of behind-the-scenes stuff that public can't see, but you can. Yeah, Gen X Mom.
Loud One gave $10. Listening in, going 75, heading to Pennsylvania. Shush needs everyone's prayers. Love y'all. Back to Highway 81 northbound.
Shush is in the hospital. She's got some issues going on. Won't get into them here, but if you need to pray for someone, she would be on your list. There's a few out there that need some help right now. She's one of them. But I don't think Loud One should come in here and start the program lying. No, he's been around a long time, been a sponsor of the program, but 75, yeah. The first thing that motherfucker does is rip off the governor off of those trucks so he can bury his foot in the carburetor and wind that thing up to 90. And don't say you don't. Okay, yeah, I saw Smoking the Bandit. He wound that thing up to 90. He was going 92. It was there in the movie, which, as you know, is a documentary about illegal bootlegging. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if is there such thing as legal bootlegging? Probably not. That was like saying assless chaps. Aren't all chaps assless? And why do I know both of those comments? Well, it's
because you have a pair in your closet.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're live.
You're not supposed to. There's sometimes you should just read and not say. You know what? From now on, this is like Moneyball. Pete, I'll point to you when I want you to talk because we need to mic check your stuff. She should not. I don't have any chaps in my closet. I would never do that again. Anyway, so we got to talk about stuff. There's things. Doom. Yes, you guys all make references. I'm getting emails and comments all over the internet on how old I am and how old I look. Yeah, it's not the years. It's the miles, ladies and gentlemen. It's the miles. I promise you.
Drippy Pineapple says, "Saddle up, cowboy."
Am I ever going to live down that assless chaps? Don't talk about that anymore. Don't read those comments.
You know, Sweet started already. She wants to know if Laura K is the $2 hoe.
We've only been on air for 5 minutes. Yeah, Laura K is the $2 whore. How does she get that? For those of you who don't know, when you spend $2 and the little thing drops over here in the jar, there's $2. We have a $2 whore. You know, if you're a $2 whore, adult used to be $1.55. We upgrade $2 whore, and we use a different person's picture each night. Who's the $2 whore? You know what? I'm almost gonna ban Sweets from the competition now. Her record started over. She had like 11 in a row getting it right. Then she missed one, so she's technically has to start over. But you could also say she's 11 out of 12. Which is pretty good.
That's
you can
really
say
good.
11 out of 12. So Sweets is she's got to have a magnifying glass and just right up to the screen like that. And look at all you millennials and all you Gen Zs are out there. No, you don't use a magnifying glass. You just freeze frame it. You take a picture. You enlarge the screen. You know, 2 fingers like this. You know, General, you can enlarge it. Yeah, well, I'm old school. We use the fucking magnifying glass to see shit.
Hey, Two Bear jumped in. He goes, slap that ass.
No, okay. This I don't want this to be a thing, man. I do not want.
You brought it up.
I don't want I brought it up in the context of how not to say something. No, you told everyone that I had some in my closet. You big fat liar.
Well, I'm just,
Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. I'm old. It's not the years on this body, it's the miles. I've been rode hard and put away wet one too many times. All right, so he's going to bounce around with some stuff. Let's go over the drag and drop section. I had notes. I had the book of lies. I wrote down my book of lies. I don't want to talk about them right now. We'll get back to it.
Drag and drop. Dragon drop.
Drag and drop. Okay. You're a little frisky tonight. I'm not sure what's going on with you. I'm not saying I don't like it, but you're on tonight for some reason. All right.
I'm just a little voice in your head.
Yeah, you're going to be arguing with all the other voices in my head. So remember, if you didn't get an email reminder that the show was beginning, join Patreon. Not only does Patreon have 3 years of behind the scenes stuff, but you get an email. It's the only place you get an email letting you know when we're doing something. It's the only way we can reach out to you. And we just tell you, hey, 30 minutes, we're doing this, going there. That's the only place you can get that. So
I love our Bottom of the Glass Nation members.
Am I not going to be able to finish my segment without you interrupting?
No, because these are so great.
Please join Patreon. It's $1. It helps the program, and it really informs you also. See how I'm trying to bring the tone down?
No.
Do you know why I'm trying to bring the tone down? Because she's going to say something over there that just rips me to shreds again.
Bottom of the Glass Nation, I love you. They're great.
Can we know why? What are you doing now? What's the... Come on, let's go. I got a show to do here.
Cheeks.
What?
Oh, General Sweet Cheeks. Just stay away from Brokeback unless there is your thong. I love him. The General's a little cheeky.
This is not one little
we
comment.
We all know those chaps are for the Heritage Softail.
Wow. Wow, like I would ever ride my bike in the buff.
Puddin' buns.
Puddin' buns? Okay, we're done. I'm moving on. I'm not doing any more of this.
You guys just made my whole night.
All right, I don't care anymore. Want to talk to you no more. Patreon did that. So you guys all know this is where the moderators can put up the link for you guys. You guys know that we drove over the hill, and I got to be honest with you. We did it. We talked a lot about it on the podcast today, and my wife hurt my feelings twice. Yeah, your queen and
get
her
over
mouth.
It.
What?
Get over it.
First of all, I was talking highly about Grant. We got to go to his home. He was nice enough to invite us into his home. And I was thinking about how he lives in a Star Wars world called Tatooine. All of the houses look like Tatooine, but they're not rounded. They're square, but his live was like Tatooine. And she goes, oh, you're making fun of him. I was like, no, that's the fucking coolest thing ever. So she hurt my feelings by downgrading my opinions on stuff, and it wasn't true. No. And then throughout the rest of our podcast, every time I brought up Grant, it was bromance.
He can't stop thinking about him.
That is not true.
Oh, come on.
This is content. This is good, wholesome.
He's in every live, every podcast. You talk about him. You text him all day long. Holy Santa Claus shit.
Have you ever thought that we're trying to build a very competent business relationship, that we're trying to get someplace to some, and it's totally a coincidence that I have his product right here. Torque strap. They're not a sponsor of the program. Grant hasn't given us any money. There's no contract.
They have a bromance going on.
This is just a great product, Torque Strap. And you got to go check. No. Get rid of your motorcycle straps. No more bungee cords. This is all you need. And there's a reason for it. Anyway, so we go down there. We got to be on his podcast 2.5 hours or so. And he was just trying to one-up me because he came up here and was on our show for like 2 hours and 38 minutes. So when we got done with his, he's like, 2 hours and 42 minutes. Now who's got the best podcast? I don't know. Grant, if you think size matters, then, hey, that's on you. I'm good with that. Whatever you think. So here's the gig. The moderators can put up a link to it. Don't go to it now. You're in the middle of a show.
Hold on. Is Grant invent, develop, prosper?
Yeah.
He said, thinking about you too with a heart. There it is. Everybody, there's Grant. Invent, develop, prosper. There's his bromance. He's in the chat
you
right
just
now.
Fucked everything up, Grant. That was not the play you should have been making.
There he is.
You fucked the whole thing up, man. I was going this way. This is like Beverly Hills Cop with the super cop story, and he's telling the super cop story, and the cops come clean to the captain. He's like, "You fucked up a perfectly good lie. You done fucked that." Those of you Generation X, Beverly Hills Cop. You zeroed in on it. That's what Grant just did. He fucked it up, the whole fucking thing. All right, so I'm going to play you something. Now, don't click the link and run away. You're in the middle of a show. Don't go to his show. Stay here. Save that link for later. Anyway, I want to play you something. Grant is absolutely amazing at editing. I mean, you think he went to school for this. So he did a little promo, an intro to his podcast, and I stole it from him, and I want to play it for you one time, but this will give you an idea of what's in his podcast we were talking about. Your queen and I were both there. We both got to be on the podcast same time. It was a great, we did have a great time.
We did. It was really fun.
And this is just a quick intro. I think it's 38 seconds, but it'll give you an idea. So turn your volume up, and if it doesn't play right, I'll play it again. Here you go. And the whole screen for you see it. Go. You can't just be analytical about it. You can't be like, okay, I graduated from film school and I know how to edit. It has to look right on the screen to you. It has to flow and click and switch. You know when you don't have it right, you do it again. Now it's my content and I'm proud and I'm keeping it and not bending the knee. Oh, we'll give you 8,000. You can have my content, and how many knees do you want me to bend and how often? This is what I do. I work in this area. I build the algorithms that shadow ban people. And my phone exploded. My glasses and my phone. I mean, boom! What the fuck was that?
So what was your first post? What was your first bit of content?
All right. So that was it. I hope you guys could hear that. It might have been a little bit too loud. I hope not. You guys can let me know, but you guys should have been able to hear. That was the intro to his podcast, which was 2 hours and 42 minutes, 4 minutes longer than ours. Big fucking deal. Who cares? But I need you guys to know that there was here's why I'm telling you. There was quite a bit of Gen X Talks inside information on how we began, where some of the pitfalls and things that we had trouble with. There was a whole segment in there about Briggs when he first started getting negative comments at 15. Some of you were around back then when he was dealing with that. It's Grant and his buddy Marcus. They do the podcast together. They're both inventors of really cool stuff, but they both picked apart. They had the right questions, and we came clean with Gen X Talks. There's a lot of good stuff in there. I've gotten a feedback from some of you that have listened to the whole thing. Really, really a plus. So listen, we'll leave this up in the comments when we're done, because the comments will play. We'll leave it up in the description under this so you guys can find it. It's also on our website. And it's not the number one thing on the website. It's number 2.
Exactly.
If you go to Gen X Talk's website,
so pathetic.
It is the number 2 thing. If you go through 65 things, it's right up there at the top. That way you guys can take a look at it. It's worth a listen to. It really is. If you just want to put your headphones on and drift off and get some good information, that's a way to do it. So consider some of his other stuff. There's some other podcasts he's got that are clever, man. They cover some stuff. Anyway, so we'll get back with that. And yeah, Gen X Mom.
Top Knots Rule is celebrating 22 months as an extra. Danny H gifted 5 memberships to Shadow Lights 2, Stuart Bailey, Chris Wilson, Wheezy16, and Kathy Schmidt on YouTube. They all got membership.
With your membership, you can now go to the YouTube community section of Gen X Talks and take a peek behind the curtain yourself. 3.5 years of not for public consumption is now yours for the next 30 days with those memberships that Danny H just gave you. So, Danny H, thank you very much. Looks like Shoeless One dropped off 5 memberships also. I don't know to who, but I'm sure I'll get a glowing report.
Ed, Harvey's Hooligans, Jared Gillespie, Jose Alcantar, and Grouchy Old Fart.
Oh, you got a membership? That's great.
Oh, you trying to get me back for your bromance?
I'm trying to pull out all the stops. Thank you. So anybody who gifted memberships, make sure you guys in the comments thank them. We rely on the interaction with you guys too. All right. So I had more stuff in here. Doom, 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 doom. Okay. I'm not going to harp on this. I swear to Christ Almighty, I'm not. I'm going to show it one time. Video shows police bust a man with hamsters in his leopard print onesie. Does anybody want to guess where you think, what state does this man live in?
It can't be Florida.
Anybody want to guess what? How many people out there are going, God damn Floridians? No, this one was Ohio. I did have to look. I could have just put this up there and assumed it was a guy from Florida. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you guys in Florida. I mean, too many alligators or something, but that I could have assumed this, and I didn't. I clicked on it. I looked. It was Ohio. So we can move on from that. There's a podcast. Willow. Real quick plug for Trippy and the Kid. They do a movie on Monday nights. It's in Discord. Gen X Talks has a Discord server. Just a bunch of regular chat rooms on Monday nights at 6 Los Angeles time. They're showing Willow. What else was in there? Yeah, Gen X Mom.
Christopher Sevic says, oh my God, Mama X, how the hell is the general not in the woodshed after the FUBAR today during the podcast?
What FUBAR? Oh, yeah, at the beginning, I fucked up that huge. We started the, boy, Grant's going to be like, never investing in this company ever. We started the podcast and we got 4 or 5 minutes in and I realized I forgot to hit record. And it wasn't so funny when my wife was looking at me live. She was like, you motherfucker. You know who got to hear it? We're broadcasting live. We do those live on KGXT Radio, kgxtradio.com. We let you guys know. Patreon, we go live every Thursday at the same time. And so there's people that tune in to listen to it because unfiltered, uncensored, unscripted. You guys hear all the cussing, the fuck ups, and all the psychological nudity that goes along with that. And today, you guys, we had to restart it and talk about the first segment like we'd never talked about it before. We had to be like, so what'd you do this morning?
I think it was better the second time. Well, I don't know why.
We did get our shit together a little bit. It was a rough start, but it just felt funny to.
It did, but I think
how hard is that for us to go? So it's a little bit weird for you starting this morning. You ran around here with the chickens, and then you're upstairs. You took a shower, and we were running around, and the clock was ticking, and then we realized we didn't start recording, so we had to start all and sound sincere. So you just started with the chickens, and you're upstairs in the shower, and the 10 o'clock, and the clock. We had to. How do you do that
today too,
and not sound like you're repeating yourself?
And we went long today.
Yeah, it was there was a lot of stuff we left out too. You and I made a couple notes on some things. We just couldn't get to every topic today. But you guys were asking there was a big thing about how we are choosing to relate to sponsors. And there's a couple things in there. Like, this is what we choose. This is what we don't choose. In today's podcast, it drops tomorrow at midnight tomorrow morning, 12:02 a.m. There's a very good explanation why we will never, ever, ever allow Grant or his Torque Strap company to ever be part of Gen X Talks. No. That's in there. You guys wanted an update on our daughter.
You can't shit where you eat, huh, General?
You can't shit where you eat.
Because you guys can't have a bromance and sponsor his...
And be in business? Is that what you... Is that what you just said? We can't have a relationship and be in business?
Nope, you can't.
That is not...
I just messed you up.
That is not where I was going with that.
You're turning red.
I'm angry.
No, you're not.
I'm angry.
I got you on that one.
This is anger.
Yeah.
This is the face of anger.
You can't have a relationship and,
There was a big update on Jade, the millennial daughter, Gen Z millennial. I still think she's millennial, moving out. We got to witness some Shakespeare, some Hamlet, did we not?
If that's what you're calling it.
She wrote a 45-page text message to her ex-boyfriend. And let's just say we're back at day one. So anyway, that's in there. There's an update on Briggs. There was quite a bit of really good, interesting down-home country family content. And then we covered a bunch of stuff too. So you got to listen to that. Yeah, Gen X Mom.
Sean MacArthur on Facebook sent 200 stars. General, here are some stars for you and the wife. Hope all is well. Proud of the family achievements. Keep doing what you do. Happy to be a part of the Bottom of Glass Nation. You guys rock.
He never, ever forgets us. If Russell Covey and Sean MacArthur over on Facebook don't forget us ever, ever,
yeah,
ever.
And Nail Lover is celebrating 24 months as an extra.
We've got people. We're going to have people at 36 months as a member, and I'm going to have to come up with we're going to have to come with some new little images to put in their little emojis.
We are?
The proverbial we, the editorial we. Why is this such a hard thing with you today? God, I'll tell you, you have learned, there's no more kids around here, so you've turned your sarcasm on me. You
Can't
really
handle it?
No, it's fucking here. Then you get mad at me when I get angry that you're doing it. I'm going to go off script here. I'm going to give everybody an example. I asked you a question today because it's coming up. I said, hey, what do you think Dr. McDreamy would say? This is going to be for you guys too in a minute, but I'm jumping the gun because I'm mad. This is my angry face.
You're not mad. You're embarrassed.
This is my angry face. And I said to her, hey, coming up in tonight's show, what do you think is the number one processed food? If you had to pick number one food to get rid of, what would Dr. McDreamy, let's say, he's a doctor, what would be the number one thing? If he could cut one thing out of your diet, one item, what would he say? Now, my wife's like, well, she's thinking about it and she doesn't know. So instead of just saying she doesn't know, she goes, well, I wouldn't presume to know what Dr. McDreamy would say. Well, that really wasn't the point. I wasn't trying to get you to get inside his head. I just use him as an example. But this is the stuff, so I have to rephrase my whole question. Then I wrote something. I said, well, is Briggs showing up tomorrow? What's the rule? If he doesn't show up, he's got to call first. I didn't understand the circumstances. And instead of answering me, she goes, it's not a rule. It's not written down anywhere. I'm like, oh, fuck, for Christ. I know it's not a written rule. I'm just, okay. Is it the understanding that if Briggs is showing up tomorrow, he'll call? This is the shit she does to me now that there's no kids in the house. She's turned all of this mothering sarcasm on me. And I'm about ready to lose my shit through my assless chaps. Absolutely. It's come to that. All right. So we'll get back. Anyway, where was I? You got me all bamboozled and flustered and upside down and backwards.
PayPal from Jeff St. Pierre, $10. Our Spotify friend.
Our Spotify inside guy. I will tell you. He's wizard. Spotify wizard. Yeah. We got Jeff is a Spotify wizard. He helped us close out. We got rid of 5 accounts that were fucked up, and he helped us get rid of those, helped us build the other ones on. I was on Discord with him today, getting close on that. You know what's funny is that Jacob, our brand managers, he's like eating a bowl of Cheerios right now going, I could have done that. I've done 5 of them by myself. I hate when he says shit like that. Yeah, we know, Jacob. You're smarter than I am. We know. Fucking people. Anyway, so where was I? I had stuff to say. Da-doom. All right, so this is what we're talking about. Let me get to this one. Here it is. On the drag and drop section of the program, the number one ultra-processed food this dietitian says stay away from. It doesn't have any nutritional value. Now that I read that again, I probably should have not asked Dr. McDreamy. I should have asked MarcyZavala.com.
Yes, you have. Yes.
She's the nutritionist.
That is correct. Wrong person.
Yeah. McDreamy, you're out. Marcy,
I think for you,
yeah.
I think for you would be soda.
Would you say so? Now, you guys know that normally I see a bunch of these things. I fucking don't click on them. I don't give a shit. They're ridiculous. I clicked on this, and I thought, all right, I'm interested to know what is the number one thing. If you had if one dietitian, one nutritionist, one doctor said, look, I'm going to erase this from your diet. You just can't have it anymore. I thought, all right, I'll read all through the shit to find, and it was there. So I scrolled down. Anybody else have any guesses? I'm looking in the comment section right now. Does anybody have any guesses?
So what do you want them to say?
Just what you think would be the number one most useless, no nutrition value, take it out of your diet, harmful for you, processed food. Just one thing.
I would say mass-produced bread.
So you're saying bread. Houdini says white bread.
Oh, he did.
You said for me it would have been soda.
Yeah.
Oh, doom. Thank you, Bob. Is not a good answer. Smicky, go smoke a toad. Bob, now you guys are talking. Are you guys going to pay attention to the show, Bob and Smicky? You're going to have a conversation, or you guys want to join the show here? We're live.
Sammy over on Facebook. Is anybody giving anything on?
Yeah, Sammy's. Anybody got Josh? Anybody on Rumble got an answer for us over there? Classic. Coke and cold classic, fries, soda, cheese. There's one. Cheese, potato chips, pizza. So you guys are hitting the big ones. Trippy Pineapple said banana sauce. So you guys are hitting all the big ones. Well, sugar, Selig Reverend from Kazakhstan, he said sugar. That's a broad stroke. Oh, why would Chris White yogurt? Is yogurt not good? Yogurt's good, right?
Yeah.
So I wrote yogurt. All right. So anyway, I scrolled through the whole thing, and I want to tell you the answer was what Dr. McDreamy has told me for the past 12 years. He had it right. This big nutritionist. That
Facebook saying French fries, onion rings. They're answering on Facebook too.
Right. So about the same category of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's soda. It is absolutely soda. Dr. McDreamy told a long time, he goes, there's nothing. I mean, he's given me that speech about a few things, 3 or 4 things that have no value, but not only is soda have no nutritional value at all, it is actually, it'll peel the paint off of lead underwater at 3,000 feet. That's that strong of stuff. So soda, I did click through it. I did have to ask on that one. So all of you who said soda, you were right. If you said corn syrup or sugar, yeah, you kind of right. It's in there. But let's go with what Gen X Mom said about me. Let's go with what Dr. McDreamy said, period. I have no idea what Marcy would say, but the nutritionist in this particular episode agreed with those two. And that soda was the number one thing. So I did click on it. I don't have an argument there. You know, I guess that would be bad. Okay, so this one came up too. This one I had to click on because I have an alternate thing to think about here. They talk about how much cheaper is EV charging than gasoline. We'll show you the winner. And they talk about how much it costs the environment. How much does it really cost the environment to build the car? How much does it cost the environment to drive the car? Gasoline versus electric. Okay. In California, they pushed and pushed and pushed. I don't know if I told you guys this. I think I did. They pushed so hard for so long to get an electric car that now they are losing money on gas tax. Their numbers came in and we're not collecting as much gasoline revenue as we should. Oh, well, no shit. You just told everybody to go fucking buy an electric car. And they did. Way to go, genius. You should have had me on your council. I might have pointed something like that out to you. You know why? Because my generation can look at stuff with common sense and go, you know what? In about 3 or 4 years, you fuckers are going to be bitching about no money from your gas tax. So they imposed a mileage tax. They're imposing a mileage tax in California. So not only now all these people that say, well, we bought an electric car. We're saving gas money. We're saving gas taxes. Yay for us. And then they come along and say, fuck you. You're paying anyway. You're going to pay a mileage tax. So there they are. They didn't escape the grasp of Gavin Newsom at all, did they? No. We're still under it. Let's move on to the part of the show that's important. My part, the part I'm thinking about. I think, and I've brought this up before, and now I'm starting to see evidence of this. I'm telling you that quite a bit, not all of it, but quite a bit of these electric cars is a fad. There's neighbors on my street that came down. Oh, look what I bought. I bought a Tesla. And now they're like, I'm kind of done with that. It's okay. A lot of drawbacks. And I told you this was so funny because you guys, we always talk about, remember when I used to get drunk on the shows and run 3 hours and we talked about some stuff? This is one that I remember with remarkable clarity, and so should you. We talked about the fact that why people don't buy. What would be the main concern about buying an electric vehicle? Remember what it was? Remember what I said? People are more afraid of running out of electricity while driving one of those cars than you are running out of gas. If you had to pick, you asked 100 people, do you want to run out of electricity in a Tesla or do you want to run out of gas in a Chevy? 100 out of 100, I'll run out of gas. We're familiar with that. This scares us. This bothers us. You guys remember Low Torque? Low Torque was on staff for a long time, been a big contributor to the program, comes over to the house often. He has been out there and said, I get nervous if I got to drive my Tesla far, out of town, across the desert. It's just a psychological thing about charging stations, and we've all seen the memes and the jokes about little generators in the trunk. We got it. That's just a thing. Now, not only is that worry up there, but people are kind of like, all right, that was fun for a little while, but I'm done now. You know, I got it. It's not. No, some people will always do it. And that'll be if there's some new models and new vehicles that come out that might generate some more boost. But I got to tell you from my perspective, just as an old guy, all right, I floated around the sun 56 times. I've learned a few things. I'm telling you, a lot of this was more of a fad when it started. It'll still be there. It's not going away. You know, it's not going to go the way of the hula hoop and not have one anymore. You can't find a hula hoop anymore. It's just not going. I don't believe it's going to be as strong forever. And when you have these problems with charging, when you start putting mileage tax on people, why the fuck would they do it? You're just taking away all the advantages. And they were already nervous. Yeah, Gen X Mom.
We have a couple Bottom of the Glass Nation members that made some really good comments about EVs.
I'm all ears, sweetie. Go.
Graham Gordon in Canada says EV vehicles are not practical here in Alberta. Too cold in the winter, too few stations to charge, long distances between the towns up north, super sparse population. That's what he says up there.
Yeah.
Justin Ride says, what are electric cars going to do when they get stuck in a ditch? And Kristen Hartman says, oh, it just went. I am still waiting for any EV company to respond to my challenge to use an EV to tote a 24-foot stock trailer full of cattle through negative temps.
Yeah, not going to happen. And they're out there. There's some big trucks. We were traveling someplace, and you and I saw a big rig, a Pepsi truck that was all painted blue, and it was electric. Now, I don't know if it had a driver. I didn't get a good, but it was definitely a big rig hauling Pepsi, but I don't know for how far, probably not very far, but we saw it. They're out there. They're growing.
Is this a true thing? Tabitha Ray said she saw some story saying if they catch fire, they can't be put out. Is it difficult?
It's difficult. Yeah. Because,
why?
Well, it's like, because it's difficult to put out an electrical fire to begin with. What do they always tell you if you have an electrical fire? You know, it's not as easy, or a cooking fire with grease. You have to use Arm & Hammer baking soda. You got to smother it. And the batteries in those things are very difficult to put out because, one, they're sealed in the car. In the floorboard of the car. It's the whole length of the car, quite a bit of the length of the car in the floorboard. And they're all, well, and I don't want to presume what they're made of anymore, but whatever they're making them out of is very difficult for firefighters to get access to it and put it out. A lot of times they just let them finish burning.
Wow.
So it is tough. It's a lot tougher than a regular car.
Are the insurance companies covering that stuff?
I don't know. I don't know what that is, but they've even had, we've all heard the stories of Teslas catching on fire just sitting in people's garages. Now, I think they've fixed some of that stuff, but what a learning curve. It's like, call me in 10 years when you've perfected it. I am not going to be part of your learning process here on those. But there's a lot of things that worry people, and when you start adding taxes on top of it, they're like, fuck, that's the whole reason I was doing this, is to escape some of that money, and now you're doing it to me? Fuck you. Along with it being, in my opinion, a little bit of a fad. Now, I don't know if I'm right on that. It could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Feels an awful lot like being right till you figure out that you're wrong.
Couple things about the gas tax from Facebook. Rocketfish72 is a new member. As of July 1st, the gas tax in Illinois has increased to 47 cents. Our idiot Governor Pritzker, a billionaire, is all about the EV incentives.
Yeah, they're doing that here. They raised the gas tax here, and they imposed the mileage tax. It's a bunch of bullshit. It really is. Jeff on Facebook says, what happens if it arcs out and you get stuck in water? Will it shock you because battery in your car, if you touch it wrong way, it works? So what will happen? Now, when I got out of working on cars, you guys know I was a mechanic for a lot of years, and I did not get very involved in electric cars or hybrids. A little bit. Not very much. I went to dealerships where my friends were working, and they were all in trained because it's brand new cars. So I did get a lot of information from them. But what my understanding is that if an electric car gets submerged and it becomes a condition where the battery could short out, it has like a disconnect fuse, like it just pops the fuse and you're done. So it's already built in. It's supposedly built in that it will not conduct and continue to conduct between the two. I don't know how that would work if it's underwater, but it may not matter. I mean, like, you can take a battery and throw it underwater, and it could take a car battery and throw it in our pool, and it won't explode. Okay. But just letting you know, they from what I understand, they thought about all that. That's already built in. So maybe that won't be an issue. Kenneth on Facebook, in Outback, Australia, they have a huge diesel generators at the charging station. So we're burning diesel 24/7 so they can charge their cars. Who said that? Sorry, I just took it. Kenneth over on Facebook. Kenneth is one of my new best friends from down under. That's exactly right. They up and down Interstate 5, they have different charging stations. And if you just look a little bit down the road, there's some sort of a diesel generator, a propane generator running and piping it over here. They put it a little bit so you can't hear it, but it's labeled the same thing. It's like, there it is, and it's pumping the charging station. So I'm glad we're saving fuel driving it, but we have to burn the fuel to charge it. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And Brother Bruns on YouTube, EVs are an expensive fad. I bought my truck for the price of an EV. It won't cost me $5,000 to replace my battery in 5 years. Yeah, that's what I feel. It's just a fad. It's a status symbol. People liked it. It's okay if you want to go do it. Go do it. I wasn't making fun of you for having a Tesla. I'm just saying I don't think it was practical. Even Elon Musk said we're not even close to being at the end of development. We're just Tesla push things forward by leaps and bounds, but even Elon says there's a long way to go. He goes, we got a lot of improvement to make on these things. So even he's saying we haven't arrived, which is all the liberals push. We've arrived. No, we haven't. Everybody knows we haven't arrived, but you idiots. All right. Going back to what I was saying, I had stuff to talk about, and you guys are fucking me up here.
They were answering your thing and making comments to what you were talking about.
I wasn't referring to them. I was referring to you. I'm still mad at you.
I haven't said anything.
You've been assless chapping me the whole night.
I have been quiet since that episode. But since you brought it up,
what?
Michael Callahan on Facebook wants to know, what kind of flowers are you going to get on your first date?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
You and your bromance.
Oh my God.
Michael Callahan.
You know what? You realize that if Grant and I decided to just grab a burger someplace or a beer to talk about stuff, I could never tell anybody.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's going to know in the next podcast.
Because everyone would say, so how did your date go? How was he?
Oh, yeah.
What, did he hold the door open for you?
Did you kiss on the first date?
I couldn't even have a beer with the man now because of you guys. You guys have fucked this all up. I couldn't even have a beer with the guy right now because you guys have ruined everything. You fucked everything up. I might as well take this torque strap thing down and throw it outside. It's over. No sponsor, no friendship, no nothing. You fucking thrown it in the dirt. God damn it, redneck hillbillies. All right, let me go back to what
Noelle says that really chaps my ass.
Okay, Noelle, you're going in the woodshed. If I find that, if I even see that. Yep, there's Noelle. That comment, Noelle, just got you in the woodshed. Put Noelle in the woodshed for how long? 5 minutes. You're out. Noelle, let that be a lesson to you. Put you in the woodshed. Okay, so get back to what I was talking about. I saw a quick scan on some stuff about 3D printers. We all know that they print a bunch of stuff, and we've been following it for years now. There's a couple little things that I thought were kind of unique. Let's try this one first. Doom. No, it's a real issue. It's fat. Let's do this one. This guy made something kind of cool. He found a way to make a printer with this 3D printer, a deal to go on his humidifier. A little nuclear power plant. So it's on his humidifier. So when people walk in his house, like, what the fuck you got going there? He's like, that's my humidifier. Come on, that was clever. You know that a Gen X dude thought of that. He's like, yeah, fuck it. If I'm going to fucking have a $10,000 printer and it's going to print some cool shit, and then it's only from the mind of Minolta. Boy, that'll take you back. All right, what's another one? This one, I hope one of my grandkids. You guys know the Nintendo Switch gaming system. I guess it's still popular. They still come out with games. Kids use it a lot because it's the
Your
two sticks.
Your grandson has one.
Oh, I was hoping he'd ask for one.
No, he has a Switch.
Well, I hope one of our other grandkids ask for one because this is what they're getting.
What?
A Nintendo Switch. If someone calls me and says, hey, Gramps, can I have a Nintendo Switch? I'm going to go, it's on its way, buddy. It's on its way right now, and you can have a Nintendo Switch. The guy made that on a 3D printer. It's fucking badass, man. Again, Gen X thinking. I like it. All right. The last one
We're so sarcastic.
I know.
It's so great.
And we're allowed to be at this age. They have to let you do it.
I know,
we can be sarcastic, like, well, they're old. Let them be sarcastic.
But we grew up that way. Yeah. I mean, that's how we. Oh my God.
All right, so here's one for me. It takes a little strange twist, but let me get through the story.
Trippy wants one, by the way.
Trippy wants a Nintendo Switch?
Yes, he does.
On its way, buddy. I'll get you one right
Do you have any blank ones? Because I could totally make that.
Oh, can you?
Yes.
Okay,
if you have blank
I do, yeah.
Switch covers.
I do. I got Switch
I could totally make them.
That'd be funny.
I could totally
All right, so here's one. This guy writes in with his 3D printer. I made these spikes to stop helpful people from grabbing me without consent. It's true. Now, I don't go a lot of places in my wheelchair. I use my wheelchair for a walker mostly, and then if I have to sit down, I can. But I push myself pretty hard by pushing the wheelchair. But every now and then, if you're sitting there, some good Samaritan will come up and grab your wheelchair thinking they're helping, and off you go. And you're like, dude, thank you, but stop pushing me. And that does happen. So that must have happened to this guy a little more than commonly wanted. So he 3D prints these little spike things on there, and he puts them on the handles, and it's like, don't fucking touch my chair. Please don't help me along. Everything's fine. Now, I brought these things up a couple of days ago as something, that's kind of cool what this guy did. I walk into the bedroom, and my wife's standing there topless, and she's got these things on her boobs. On her boobs. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing? And she goes, this apparently will stop you from grabbing me without consent. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Take that stuff off. She was all smart. She thought she had really pinned me into a corner. Like, well, you see this? Since I brought it up and since I was talking about it, this was the no consent 3D printer ring. These are the no consent rings.
It worked, didn't it?
Well, we weren't really going to go there in the conversation, but yes. I'm
just saying it worked.
Yeah, Kate, so just so you know, unless you got a bunch of those, I found where you had them hidden. I threw them out.
Oh, okay.
They're gone. You can't do that. You can't put those.
James wants to know on YouTube, do they spin?
I don't know. I couldn't get close enough to them to grab them to see if they spun. She was across the room and all I saw was those yellow things. She's like, nope, not without consent. You don't. I don't know if they spin. Who the fuck knows? I'm just telling you, it was out there. So anyway, got a 3D printer, made those out there. Pretty good. Boom, 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 boom. All right. They're doing the Patreon, podcast. We talk about this. But in Ohio, there was, I want to talk about something, and I don't mean to get a little more serious here, but a little bit of me has to. Some of you have been drinking tonight. You're going to appreciate this. You're going to understand it a little bit better. I think alcohol brings clarity to any situation. I firmly believe that. And I want to tell you about live streams that we're doing like right now. And it's important. For those of you who have been around a long time, you guys know when we started, it was just me drinking, being angry, and reading comments. I didn't just whatever you guys want to fucking talk about. So pretty much for the first year, it was just reading comments and we were talking about stuff. You guys would bring stuff up. I'd respond. I'd say some shit. You guys would have some replies. It was just a back and forth. All right. Well, later on, as things progressed and the kid kind of developed the show to where we're streaming on multiple channels, we got multiple requests. And then it was, hey, Dad, you can bring a picture in here. So we talk about a picture or we talk about a current event. I remember as soon as I got on one show, you guys wanted my opinion on Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. And I remember starting the show. I said, you guys are waiting for this opinion, aren't you? And we talked about it for a little bit because it was something that just happened. So the show moved away from strictly reading comments and interacting with you guys to having a little bit more of a well-rounded. So there's some pictures, there's some funny stuff, there's some current events. But then people started to get mad. Old school was like, well, this show's really lost where it came from. Back when I first started here, you've lost your roots, you've lost your base, you've moved on, or we've evolved, or we've grown. You could call it that instead of making this sound childish and stupid. But the truth is, if I talk about sports, hey, for 15 minutes, we're going to talk about sports. Okay? A bunch of you are going to leave. A bunch of you are going to write, fuck this, I didn't come here. If I want sports, I'll go to a sports channel, and you're out. If I start talking about politics, a bunch of you fucking don't talk about politics, man. You were doing so good. And then you fucking started talking about politics. I'm out. I'm fucking done. Same thing about religion. You talk about religion. You talk about something going on in a foreign country. You talk about anything. There's always a certain percentage that gets pissed. They're very vocal about it, and they leave. Sometimes they unsubscribe, like, okay, fuck it, I'm out. I'm not doing this. We're talking in tomorrow's podcast. You guys are going to get some real insight. Grant and I have done 2 interviews now talking about sponsors, but we really haven't talked about the rules of a sponsor, of an advertiser with Gen X, the things that Gen X Mom and I are kind of looking for because we're moving that way a little bit. And as soon as we start talking about it, there's a whole segment. You fucking guys have sold out. You're sellouts. You're fucking done. I'm not listening anymore. I'm out of here. It's like, fuck, really? You guys can get paid for what you go to do to work, but if we do something where we can get paid, we're assholes, we're sellout. Well, you're a fucking sellout for working at McDonald's. Why don't you work there for free, dipshit? Why don't you work there as a plumber for free? You're a sellout. If you're doing it for money, you're a sellout just because you're good at it. My point is that everything we do comes with a consequence of people bitching and complaining and seriously upset with us that they're moving on. I need you guys to realize that. So I struggle with this. I used to struggle with this. I finally came up with a solution, and many nights toiling and scratching pencil to paper trying to figure out, well, is it 10 minutes of this and 5 minutes of that and 7 minutes here and a current event if it's really... And I finally came up with something that seems to work for everybody. Okay, that's a lie. Let me rephrase that. I finally came up with something that works for me. I'm going to fucking talk about whatever I want, and I don't give a shit. And how did I come up with that? I was watching the movie Rounders. Remember the movie Rounders with Matt Damon? Yeah? Remember Teddy KGB? I will splash the fucking pot whenever the fuck I want. Teddy KGB came to me and said, that's what you got to do, man. General, take control. He was Teddy KGB. I'm the general. So guess what? I'm going to talk about whatever the fuck I want. If you don't like it, it's not an airport. Don't announce your departure. Just fucking leave. All right? I don't want an email. I don't want an explanation. I don't want a story. I don't fucking care. If there's 3 of you left watching the show, then those 3 people are going to get the fucking show of their life, because I'm not going away. I'm still going to give it to them with as much vim and vigor. My wife will still be here. We'll be bantering and reading about whatever you guys talk about, even if there's 3 of you left in the room. That's how we feel about it. But I needed to say that out loud because there's so many dumbasses. You're even in here now, and you're like, I can't believe you're explaining this. What a waste of a show. I'm leaving because you're explaining about me leaving. You're the type of moron that should have left a long time ago, in my humble opinion. Gen X Mom, what do you got?
Oh, my turn?
Your turn.
Okay, cool.
Rant has come to an end. I am stepping off the soapbox. Go.
Greta on Facebook Blue just subscribed. Welcome, Jetta. Greta.
That's one. Yeah.
I said Jetta. I don't know why.
Greta?
It's Greta. Graham Gordon, $5, throwing some money your way to pay for the AC when it hits 115 tomorrow in Bakersfield.
My man.
Here in Olds, Canada, 91 melted all our igloos today.
Oh.
Man, crush.
Sorry about your igloos, buddy. That sucks.
Brother Bruns, 1999. Change is up there with death and taxes in life. Embracing change makes it an engine.
I agree with that. Brother Bruns, I met him in person. Yeah, we've hung out.
Yeah. Jeff St. Pierre on Facebook. Like all soda, what about zero sugar stuff? Still bad? He was responding.
Okay, since you brought that up, the article I actually can read, and I fumbled through it. Now, true, I like books with pictures more. Diet soda was the worst of the sodas.
Well,
I think Dr. McDreamy told me that years ago, that diet is even worse for what's in it.
What's in it is aspartame, and that is a chemical that's nasty and has been known to do some nasty stuff in your body. So instead of saying sugar, it's a chemical-based sugar is what it is.
You know what we got to do is we got to have Dr. McDreamy on the program sometime. Like we'll get his. The kid showed me how to bring in, like we can do a Zoom call and I can bring it in here and we can talk about some of that, because like right now would be a great time to have him just chime in for 5 minutes and go, here's what the fucking skinny is on it. Cause he knows.
Why not Marcy? Marcy's the nutritionist.
Oh yeah.
You keep doing that.
Well, I keep thinking Damon, Dr. McDreamy, I don't know.
I know. Noelle is out of the woodshed. Just wanted to say, looks different. Did you guys redecorate?
Wow. You could tell because she's been in the woodshed before. You just labeled yourself, Noelle. You just told everybody that you're a bad apple.
Brent went fishing, gifted 5 memberships tonight.
Who got those memberships?
Z-Lig, James Jameson, Stephen Mayer, whoa, and the Polish redneck.
Thank you for donating to those. I know it costs a couple bucks to help people out, but it gets them engaged, keeps them around. Thank you for that. All right.
And Alm, A-L-M, just became an extra.
Far
we just
out.
gained another
Thank
person.
you for doing that. Now, I want to talk one thing about politics that I haven't heard anybody say. You guys have heard all the usual stuff. We've all heard it. But something came across the wire today, and I'm guessing that because I'm thinking of it, hundreds and hundreds of people have already thought it. They probably already said it. I'm just letting you know, I haven't heard it said mainstream yet. But somebody was quoting, I think you and I were talking today, Jules, about something George Clooney had said. And George Clooney, when he came out and said, we got to replace Biden, he's got to go, I got to pull support, I love the guy, but I can't do this. Here's something he said that caught my attention as an old Gen Xer. He and his buddies said, we're really wrestling with the idea, can he do it? Now, we've got to talk about it. Can Joe Biden do it? Can he not do it? They got to sit and they got to check all the boxes, and they got to charts and graphs and focus groups. And can he do the job? Can't he do the job? Will he be able to, or will he not? And they said, we just got to the point where we don't think he can do it. It was so close. I don't want you guys to think it wasn't close. It was close. We just think that it's just a little bit on the side, a little bit across that line of I don't think he can do it. And that's what we've all come to the consensus. We've listened. We've talked to doctors. We've talked to everybody. And I want you guys to know we wrestled with this, that we just don't think. Now hold the fucking phone for a second. Hold the fuck on. If you're talking about a candidate for the presidency of the United States, and you're admitting that you're at a point where you're just having to weigh it out, then he's the wrong fucking guy. I'm talking old school common sense here. Why would you want to elect somebody who's right on the line, even if you all collectively said, we talked about it for a long time, we think he can do it? Confidently? Well, barely, because that's the discussion, isn't it? Isn't that what they're all saying? Well, we're really wrestling with it. If you have to wrestle with the competency of your candidate, he's too far down the ladder. He's too low. If it gets down to where you're talking about it, he's out. What the fuck are you? How did that even make it out into the press? Do you realize how stupid now that you guys are thinking about every single person who has said that, well, we here at the New York Times, we've really been, if you're fucking wrestling with it, you're an idiot. If it's that low that you're like right on the bubble, then it's over. Pick somebody else. You don't want to elect somebody, even on your side of the aisle. You don't want somebody who's like, maybe he can do it. On a good day, he can do it. You want somebody who's like, that fucking guy's got it. Whether you believe left or right, Republican or Democrat, conservative, it doesn't matter. Each side should be saying, I got a guy who there's no question he's competent, he can get in there and do the job. I'm not saying that other people haven't thought of that. I'm just saying that I haven't heard it yet. But I did hear a lot the last 3 days about everybody wrestling on how close to the line. We think he can do it. Well, maybe then if it's that low, common sense would say pick a different fucking guy. He's not the guy. If your guy's batting at the Mendoza line, you got a problem. All right. Anything else, Gen X Mom?
Yes,
what
absolutely. Michael Callahan on Facebook, Blue. General, what high school did you go to? I went to South High my freshman year before I got kicked out of my mom's house.
South High is a Bakersfield reference. I went to Village Christian High School in Sun Valley, California. I was asked politely to leave.
Kicked out.
What?
Oh, sorry. What
What'd you say?
Nothing.
You said kicked out.
No,
I was asked politely to leave twice, and then I went to the proud institution on Roscoe Boulevard of John H. Francis Polytechnic High School.
Penitentiary.
And I did not get a diploma from either institution. They're holding me back for political reasons. I'm sure any day now, they'll see things my way and mail it to me. I'm quite confident.
Okay, Scott Royston, $10. In the end, you have to do what you enjoy doing. True supporters will stay with you. All others will leave. Let them go. Hater gonna hate, even just for the sake of hating. Keep doing what makes you happy.
Mama and Scott got my back.
Scott Royston also gifted 5 memberships tonight to Isaac, the True Blue, Stormtrooper, Sergeant Deacon, and Edward. They all got memberships tonight.
Thank you for that, Scott. I appreciate you keeping everybody in the loop. That's a big help.
Hector Peak, I think it's Peak on Facebook. How is the Reno move coming? Broke ground yet?
Haven't even closed escrow yet. The goal is it's still in chat. Everything's moving along. Escrow's barely even opened. It looks like I want to purchase the property. I want to clear part of it. And I'd like to get the power pole set on it from Nevada Power. And I'd like to dig the well. And that's a lot of money. But I think once I get those 3 things done, then I can focus on fixing up this place around here, selling this place next year, taking the cash. I'll probably have to go live in an apartment or a fifth wheel or something on the property. I don't want to go through the stuff of building the house 1,000 miles away. Kind of like to be right there. So our plan is to head up that way and just live for so long until we get it done. But that's the plan, is to get it that far, get the property locked in, and get it that much done, and move ourselves down the road. But I promise you, as soon as we have things a big step in that direction, like when escrow closes, they just did a survey to actually point to me where the lines are. You know, it was a 2.5 acres. So I said, don't want to buy it until I know exactly. I know we've seen the plot map, but go have a guy go out there and put stakes in the ground. So once they give me that report, we're going to drive up there, stay for a few days, walk the property again, and see exactly to make sure it's what we're thinking, which it probably will be. I think it's just prudent to walk it and know exactly where your lines are before you buy it, and then we'll move forward. But it's all going along smoothly. No big hiccups yet. We're good. So that's the fast update there. All right. Let me get back to what I was saying. I was almost done here. Or did I get done? Did I
We
almost
can keep going. It's been good. This is a good night.
It's a good night. I think we're good. Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
This is under the heading of you won't fucking believe me.
Okay.
You're not going to believe that someone made this.
All right.
And they did, because it's in a store and they're holding it up. This is a real fucking product.
All right.
You know that one thing that irritates me more than anything is those fucking kids that walk around with their saggy pants.
No belt.
No belt, their underwear hanging out 5 inches above the waistline, and they're walking around with thinking they're something. I fucking can't stand that shit.
Me either.
All right, you ready for what they make now?
Great day.
You're not going to believe it. You're going to think this is photoshopped, and I looked into it's real. They make pants now that have underwear sewn into it, boxers sewn into the pants that stick out 2 or 3 inches.
Okay.
Now you don't even have to do the work to look like a fucking moron, which all of you look like fucking morons. Now you can be lazy about it. You can just get dressed. You don't even have to adjust yourself accordingly. You don't got to pull the pants down, your boxers back up, make it look just right. No. We've now got to the point where we'll do it for you.
That's ridiculous.
That is a true fucking thing that they're sewn in and you can buy them that way.
Okay.
I have no idea what the world is coming to, but if I was drinking tonight, I can't drink tonight, but if I was drinking tonight, I would be drinking half the bottle of my driving whiskey just to this. True story. All right. So, I think I covered most of the stuff I wanted to. We covered most of the sheets. Do you have anything left in there?
Yes, World According to Gen X just signed up to be an extra tonight. So we got a new
you
person.
guys, thank you for doing that. It's a huge thing to follow what we're doing and pay attention. It's a big thing when you subscribe. It's a huge deal. But the ultimate thing is when you guys spend a couple bucks of your own money. Do you know why? It's not ours. It's yours. It's your hard-earned money, and you've worked really tough to get. I don't care if it's $1 or it's $100. You worked hard to get it, and you've chosen to give us a piece of your labor, of your work, of what you do for a living and how you make money. To me, that's gigantic. That's the biggest thing. Thank you very much for doing that. All of you who joined up.
Keeps the lights on in here.
Keeps the lights on.
Yes,
Every
it
little
does.
bit helps. It really
Brother
does.
Bruns, $9.99. If you do a fifth wheel on the property, check the laws first. States get a little wonky about that.
Well, up in that area, there is a lot of travel trailers on property that have been there since 1972. So I'm thinking it's going to be okay. But
And they're building in that area too. Some people have bought property.
Yeah, and other people have stuff. We'll see. I'd have to put the septic system in also.
Right.
And so, but then we'd have power, water, and septic, and we could sit on there. I don't know that's what I want to do, but those are some ideas. But we're still a year to a year and a half away, so who knows.
Yeah.
But yes, we're on the path on that. All right.
Sheets are cleared for tonight.
Well, I think I'm going to end it on that. That's a high note. The hour went by really fast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I mean, all the donations and all the kind words, all the controversial topics, and we're all still riding on this road together. Thank you very much. Hey, it's time for you to say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you very much. We're out of here. We got to go. Thanks for tuning in. If you had an hour of your evening to waste, we're really glad you chose to waste it with Gen X Talks. Not sure where you're tuning in from around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps along the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things. Wherever you go, there you are. Did you have something to say?
Yeah,
What?
you didn't mention we have a world show tomorrow and a garage show.
Yeah, the World Show tomorrow at 10. And then the garage show, we're going to spend the whole afternoon getting set up for the garage show. We are going to do the Bad Dog Tools demonstration over again, and we're going to do it clean this time. If I can get the cutting tools lined out, we'll do the whole thing with multiple cameras, multiple angles. That should be fun. We'll broadcast it everywhere. Can I finish the show now?
Yes, now you can go.
Remember 2 things. Wherever you go, there you are, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.